I'm Sophia from We Learn to Share. Today I'm going to talk about Self-Sufficiency Path and International Trade Path. Those are from AP Human Geography Chapter 10. The Self-Sufficiency Path and International Trade Path are the main two paths for development. For most of the 20th century, self-sufficiency was more popular development, but international trade became more popular beginning in the late 20th century since the global economic slowdown began in 2008. Both have advantages and disadvantages. First, I'm going to talk about the self-sufficiency path. Countries encourage domestic production of goods and discourage foreign ownership of businesses and resources and protect their businesses from international competition. This is just talking that their productions and businesses are in all the same countries, which is their country. So, the government has to prevent foreign influence. India is a great example of self-sufficiency path. Those are India's strategies based on self-sufficiency. First, import licenses. To import goods into India, a company needed a license, which is hard to get because several dozen government agencies had to approve the request. This just means that India had very strict rules to get license to import goods into India. It was just hard to import goods into India. Next, quotas. A really limited number of foreign goods coming into their country. It just means that they limited the number of foreign goods. Taxes. Heavy taxes on imported goods. The government imposed heavy taxes on imported goods, which doubled or even tripled the prices to consumers. Export limits. Indian businesses were discouraged from producing goods for export. They just wanted to sell only in their country. Currency restrictions. Indian money could not be converted to other currencies. Permits. A business needed government permission to sell a new product, modernize a factory, expand production, and such. It means that they need so lots of permission to start a business and to run a business. Subsidies. Unprofitable private companies were kept in business with government subsidies, such as cheap electricity or forgiveness of debt. This just means that the government gave huge subsidies to the struggling businesses and helped them. Government ownership. The government owned not just communication, transportation, and power companies, which is common around the world, but it also owned businesses such as insurance companies and car makers, which were left to the private sector in most countries. Just in one sentence, they are trying to make people buy domestic goods rather than foreign goods. This is just the main purpose of self-sufficiency path. This helped India effectively, but they achieved only modest development and did not produce internationally competitive goods. And here, this is the really important one, tax money. So, as I said here, taxes. I said that they had very heavy taxes on imported goods. So, government used tax money and import tax money to boost the economy of whole country, throughout the country. Maybe they make infrastructure, transportation, and more new jobs for different sectors to make the whole country, both rural areas and urban areas, economically successful. By learning the India self-sufficiency path, we can know that there are two main key elements of self-sufficiency path, and those are balanced growth and import barriers. These are just main key elements of self-sufficiency. Balanced growth. The investment will be spread as equally as possible across all sectors of country's economy and in all regions, which means growth will be balanced. This is just the same meaning of what I just say from tax money, that the government will put lots of effort to make whole country economically successful. which does not depend on rural areas or urban areas. They're just trying to make whole country successful as equal as possible. Next is import barriers, and those are just whole thing that what I mentioned before, just like what kind of barriers did India had. Next is international trade. International trade's goal is to find and develop unique economic assets that the rest of the whole world wants. What animal, what vegetable, what mineral does the country have in abundance that other countries were willing to buy? What products can country manufacture and distribute at a higher quality, lower cost than other countries? And this is the just main theme of international trade. You have to know 4 dragons. 4 dragons are example countries taking international trade path. They are South Korea, Singapore, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. Due to scarcity of natural resources, the 4 dragons supported growth by focusing on a few manufactured items, particularly apparel and electronics and financial services. Because of their low labor expenses, these nations were able to offer their products at a low cost. At a low cost in industrialized countries. Since the world is getting global, country that can find a resource to offer the rest of the world becomes more successful, and that is international trade. Also, to get into world market, international trade should be boosted. These days, international trade is way more effective than self-sufficiency path. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video.